My name is Miss Amy. I'm one of the children's librarians here at Monroe County Public Library. And for today's virtual story time, I'm going to do a story time that centers around amphibians, or in this case, specifically frogs. So just like our unofficial mascot in the children's department, Miss Henry, who is an African clawed frog. So before I start all of that, I want to do our welcome song, and then I'll show you a little bit about the two books that we'll read together today, and the felt song, and learn about some of our frog friends, okay? So this welcome song incorporates some American Sign Language in it. If you want to follow along, it's perfectly fine. If you screw up at any point, that's completely fine too. The first sign is hello. So it's a simple salute. So you're just gonna, almost like you're karate chopping yourself, but you're saluting. Salute. Hello. Hello. Friends is the hardest one, I think, of this whole song. And you're gonna take your two index fingers, make little hooks and connect them and link them and kind of do a pulling motion. This means friends. Friends. Time is pretty easy, so you're going to look at your wrist. I just happen to have a watch on today, so, or if you have a bracelet on, you just tap your wrist right here, so time. And then next is say, so it's pretty easy. You're just going to put your hand near your mouth and wave, or at least it's almost like you're blowing somebody a kiss, or at least it looks that way, because I'm wearing a mask. And do you know why I'm wearing a mask? Because I'm in the library and I'm sharing space for other people besides my family. So it's always good to wear a mask in a public space like this so that no germs get away. But anyway, so say, you're gonna put your hand next to your mouth and kind of kiss. But we're gonna put that all together, and I'm gonna try to go through the song twice. So repetition is always good, especially with learning new songs and new sign language signs. So we're gonna do it. You ready? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. All right, that's our first one. You ready for our second one? Okay. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. All right. Well, thank you for following along with that song. Hopefully I didn't scare you away by throwing too much at you. But what we're going to do now is teach you a little bit about the frog cycle. So actually, you hear that? You hear that? What is that? Huh. It's some frogs. They're actually here. Can you hear them? I can hear them. They're kind of croaking a little bit. Actually, I think we need to go into this pond behind me here, or that I'm sitting in and kind of swimming in. I have like little floaties on, you just can't see them. So I'm gonna go down in the pond and see where I can find these frogs at, and maybe introduce you. Just get... Oh my goodness. Whew. Man, I am not a good swimmer. Probably not the greatest idea. So I have 4 friends that I'm going to introduce you to today. And we're going to learn about the frog life cycle with this. So our first friends, or friends, because this is a multiple friends here. Can you see this right here? These are frog eggs. So with each dot, blue dot that you see, that's actually one baby frog. So this isn't just one big frog. This is actually probably 20 or so frogs if you wanted to sit there and count them all. So this is what Miss Henry was when she was a teeny tiny baby before she came to the library. So this is the beginning of the life cycle of the frog. And then we have a tadpole. So after the egg hatches, it turns into a tadpole. So this has a long streaming tail which helps the tadpole move into the water and get away from predators and such. And if you look closely at the face, you can kind of see that it's starting to look like a frog, and there's no legs. That's the other component of a tadpole. So the next stage, after the tadpole grows a little bit and becomes a little older, it turns into something called a froglet, which is this little person right here, a little frog, not little person. So this is a froglet. So it still has the string-like tail that the tadpole has, but it has legs, unlike the tadpole. And then the face also is starting to become more frog-like. So we have the eggs, the tadpole, the froglet, and then the next stage is just an adult frog. So this sample right here, this little person, this little guy or gal is actually a bullfrog. So, which is completely different than what Miss Henry is. But her life cycle is pretty similar in terms of the stages of what she is. So she is an adult African clawed frog. This one is a bullfrog. So there are many different varieties of frogs. So bullfrog and Miss Henry's African aquatic frog are just a couple of different ones. So I'm going to put gently back these friends that we just introduced ourselves to, because it's always good to put back wildlife where they go. So I'm going to take you all, and I'm just going to gently put them in our pond behind me right here. So say goodbye to our little frog friends. All right. Ooh, they're swimming away, or at least the tadpole is. The bullfrogs is kind of sitting there. Okay. So we're going to read two different stories. I'm going to start with, now that the life cycle is fresh in our mind, I'm going to read Ribbit by Jorey, Hurley, and it's also illustrated, I believe, by her as well. So this is a very simple, almost wordless picture book that shows really good illustrations and basic habitats of some bullfrogs. So this is also a bullfrog that we see right here. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to put this down right there. And then I'm going to share my screen. Ribbit by Jorey Hurley. Ooh, look at those frogs. With their long legs, with their webbed feet, that's what helps them swim so well in the water. Wait, what are these frogs waiting for, do you think? Maybe. What about the white circles that you see on the page? Do you remember what I told you those were? Those are frog eggs, and it looks like the grown-up frogs are waiting for the babies to hatch. So let's see what happens. Oh, an egg has hatched. What came out of the egg? A tadpole. And you can see its very long streamer-like tail that helps it move in the water. Ooh, grow. The tadpole is growing. What else does the tadpole doing on the page here? What's helping it grow? It's eating some of its very nutrient-rich plants right here. So you can see it's nibbling on the stem. And then what has changed with the tadpole? You see what's changed? It has legs now. Change. Speaking of change, it's a froglet. Do you see where the froglet is on the page? Do you see? It's right there. And now it has arms and legs. It still has its little swimmer tail in the back, but it's looking more and more like a frog, don't you think? Climb. What's it doing? It's climbing out of the pond, and it looks almost like a full-grown frog. This just looks like a very young frog. And one thing to note here is that not all frogs are meant to climb out of the water completely. This one just happens to be one of the amphibians that can survive outside of water. But Miss Henry is an aquatic African clawed frog, and she has to stay in the water and submerged in the water Otherwise, her skin gets too dry. Watch. What is this frog watching? Can you find the frog on the page? It's on the rock. But what is this frog watching? Can you tell? Can you see? The dragonfly. Yeah. The dragon. What do you think is going to happen to the dragonfly? I don't know. Ooh, look at that long pink sticky tongue that's come out just to snap up that dragonfly. What other things do frogs eat, do you think? They eat all types of bugs. They eat flies and dragonflies, and they eat mealworms as well, and tiny little shrimp, depending on where they live. Ooh. And the webbed feet. Rest. He's sleepy now. The frog is sleepy because they just ate. So that seems to be like my life cycle. After I eat a big meal or a snack, I always want to curl up and kind of take a quick nap. Leap. Look how long the legs are on that frog. What are they leaping away from? The stork. The stork is a predator. So you have to watch out if you're a frog from some big birds. Otherwise, you might become the snack rather than vice versa. Swim. You're swimming deep and away. Hide. Do you see where the frog's hiding? Hiding from the bird? Yeah, in the corner right there. Hopefully if they stand still long enough, the bird might lose interest. Hibernate. Do you know what hibernate means? It's another word for sleeping for a long period of time, specifically in the winter. Can you tell? How can you tell that it's winter right now from this page? Do you see anything that might happen in winter only? Usually? It's snowing outside, it looks like. Yeah, and the leaves are gone. So in the winter, frogs like this one on the page, they often hibernate until it gets warmer. Look. Is the frog looking at us? I can't really tell. I think they might be. But you can never tell because they look like they're looking in two different directions. I wonder what the frog's looking at. Ribbit. Can you do a really good frog sound? Ribbit. That's as good as I can do. I think you guys can do better though. Ribbit. And you see the throat of one of the frogs right here? Its little throat sac. And the sound comes from this, from the way air moves through it. And we're back to waiting again. More eggs, more frog eggs, and the cycle continues. And do our next story, which is a lot sillier and a lot longer and a lot harder as well. This is full of a tongue-twisting story about a frog that changes how things are done a little bit. So let's see. Let's see if we can get through this without slipping up too much. Ooh, what can you see on this page? All types of it. It looks like a dog is doing different things. Dog on a Frog by Kes and Claire Gray and illustrated by Jim Field. Hey dog, get off of that frog, said the frog. But I like sitting on frogs, said dog. Frogs are all squishy and squashy, and when you sit on them, they go, you know the rules, said the cat. Cats sit on mats, and frogs sit on logs. And dogs sit on frogs. Well, I'm changing the rules, said the frog. From now on, dogs sit on logs, not on frogs. Really? Said the dog. Really, said the frog. So, dogs sit on logs and cats sit on gnats? Ouch! Ooh, I don't know if I would like to be sitting on some gnats. What will bears sit on? Asked the dog. Bears will sit on stairs, said the frog. How many bears do you see on that page? You want to count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a big family. What will slugs sit on? Asked the dog. Slugs will sit on plugs, said the frog. Slugs will sit on plugs. Flies will sit on pies. Crickets will sit on tickets. And moss will sit on cloths. What will leopards sit on? Asked the dog. Leopards will sit on shepherds, said the frog. I don't know about that. You think that's safe? I don't think that's safe. What about that sheep? Does that sheep look very happy? No, it looks kind of scared. Leopards will sit on shepherds, and cheetahs will sit on fajitas. I would not mind that at all. You're really getting the hang of this, said the dog. I know, said the frog, and that's not all. Gnus will sit on canoes, pigs will sit on wigs, and boars will sit on oars. What will whales sit on? Asked the dog. Whales will sit on nails, said the frog. I'm not sure the whales will like that, said the dog. You think the whales would like that? I don't know. I wouldn't like to sit on nails. Although on Wonderlab, I know they have a bed of nails that you can sit on. They don't have to like it, said the frog. They just have to do it. What will dragons sit on? Asked the dog. Dragons will sit on wagons, said the frog. Dragons will sit on wagons. Mice will sit on ice. Kittens will sit on mittens. And puppies will sit on guppies. What will canaries sit on? Asked the dog. Canaries will sit on fairies, said the frog. Canaries will sit on berries. Possums will sit on blossoms. Hens will sit on pens. Baboons will sit on balloons. And poodles will sit on noodles. Poodles aren't gonna sit on noodles, gasped the dog. They are now, said the frog, smiling. Hold on, said the cat. If dogs sit on logs, and cats sit on gnats, bears sit on stairs, slugs sit on plugs, flies sit on pies, crickets sit on tickets, moths sit on cloths, leopards sit on shepherds, cheetahs sit on fajitas, gnus sit on canoes, pigs sit on wigs, oars sit on oars, whales sit on dragons sit on wagons, mice sit on ice, kittens sit on mittens, guppies sit on guppies, canaries sit on fairies, possums sit on blossoms, pins sit on hens, baboons sit on balloons, and poodles sit on noodles. What are frogs gonna sit on? Asked the dog. These, said the frog. I don't think that's very nice. But you know the rules. That was quite the tongue twister. I only screwed up a few times, but I went too far into the story. Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow on these. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm moving some of my things around to make space for my magical green box. So I'm going to move this just a little bit away. And I'm going to slide my magical box on over. And you're going to say bye to my face. Because there can only be so much in front of the screen. You're going to hear my voice. I'll just start yelling really loud. All right. So, my magic wooden box. What could be in here, do you think? Let's see. Ooh. Oh. It looks like there's some frogs. Some frogs on logs. How many frogs can you see? Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're gonna do a song. This is another tongue twister. So this is 5 green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log. Because I've not done enough tongue twisters so far during the story time. Okay. All right, you ready? We're gonna count down. 5 green speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were, how many are there now? There are 4. So we're going to start at the end. 4 green speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. And then how many speckled frogs remain? 1, 2, 3. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were how many? 2. Ready? 2 green speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were, how many is there? There's just 1. All right. 1 green speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious flies. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were no green speckled frogs. Wah, wah. All right. But they're in the water. They're happy. They're chilling. So I'm going to put this magic box away for now. I hope I didn't scare you away too badly. I'll quietly put it away. Now, we're going to do our goodbye song, which is very similar to our hello song. So this one only changes with one sign. So instead of hello, we're just going to say goodbye. So wave. So remember the friends, time, say, and then goodbye. All right, we'll do it twice. Repetition's always good. All right, ready? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Ooh, I almost, if you were paying attention, you saw me almost do that. Ugh. I've only done this probably 20 times in the last 3 days. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. You ready? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. So thank you for joining me for this virtual story time. I hope to see you soon. But in the meantime, until then, I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful life. All right. Bye.